Ayo, Wagwan brothers, coming back at you with a video for the Agara Forbidden Zone Very Hard Crisis Dungeon. For me, this dungeon needs water and ice potency, so I just went with the classic Sephiroth. Yes, I'm still using edged wings for ice damage. It is what it is. So yeah, Sephiroth with edged wings and his ice weapons pretty much for sub weapons. So he's got 15k HP, 6.6k magic attack, and his R abilities are basically magic attack and ice potency. Quite a bit of HP as well. He's also got boost magic ability potency and interruption mastery from his ultimate weapon. And then a bunch of boost all R abilities. And that's pretty much it. And then also went with Angeal for my water damage with the Tranquility. And I went with Greatsword A for the physical defense down for the Iron Giant. He's only got 8.8k HP, but he's got quite a lot of physical attack. Probably should have gone with Leviathan here, but whatever. It was my first run. I was just testing it out, and I figured I'd post the first run. So yeah, his sub-weapons are basically just for physical attack. So boost physical attack level 7. Water potency is only 5, that's fine. And physical ability potency and limit break potency 4. Obviously, he's also got all allies boosts. And then finally for healing and support, I went with Aerith with the Bahamut Rod and the Terror's Rod for ice resist down. Pretty much nothing special on the main equipment. For sub-equipment, I just went with Centipede for that big heal and buff debuff boost. Check out her stats, 11k HP and around 4k for everything else, for all the main stats. And yeah, she's got boost heal level 8 and buff debuff level 4. And then she's got the 2 weapons that give boost magic attack and physical attack to all allies. And that's pretty much my team, so yeah, let's jump into the dungeon. So the first guy you have to face first is the Iron Giant. For chance abilities, you can get physical attack at the cost of magic attack at the cost of physical attack, or physical defense. So just go whatever's best for you. Obviously physical attack using physical team, magic for a magic team, or physical defense if you're using sort of a mix or you're not feeling too strong. Physical defense down and water element weapon is pretty much all you need for the Iron Giant. He's basically going to something like Tranquility and Angeal's Greatsword, which is what I used. Obviously there's lots of options. Physical attack down and AoE physical attack up, physical defense up, can be pretty useful if you're struggling. And yeah, he's pretty much going to go Mighty Guard, which maxes out his physical defense. And then he's going to start charging his Grand Sword. You want to debuff his physical defense. If you remove his physical defense buffs, then he's going to get toppled, he's going to get stunned, and you should be able to kill him with your water damage. Pretty simple. You wait for Mighty Guard and then start dropping your physical defense down. Not actually sure what Vigor does. I don't see sort of anything that he gets, but if you know, let me know. Yeah, once you've removed his physical defense up, then he gets stunned. And if you're strong enough, you should be able to kill him before he gets his Grand Sword off. Pretty relaxed fight. Plant abilities, like I said, just take whatever's best for your team and your run. I just went with physical defense because I'm using both physical and magical, so that's just better for me and it'll keep me safe as well. Then you get into a random battle with landworms. These guys are weak to ice, so if you have a decent ice DPS, it should be pretty easy to kill them all. It's like that. And then you'll find a chest in the fog over here. gives you potions and stimulants. And then you have a choice between two battles over here. The first is against the Whymsylvan, the birds, and you can take darkness resist and limit break potency, max HP reduction rate, and physical defense down resist. And in my opinion, the best one is the third one, pain resist, because the final boss does inflict pain, and physical attack and magic attack tier is pretty good if you have those buffs. These guys are weak to water, and you can debuff their defenses, physical or magical. And if you have Leviathan, it's not a bad shot to use it here. They open with Thunderbolt, which stuns one of your characters. Then they use Wing Beat, which is AoE attack, not too strong, but it lowers physical defense by 1 stage. When they get low, they use White Wind to heal themselves up a bit. And then their main attack is Volplane, which is quite a powerful single target attack that also lowers wind resistance. So ideally want to kill them before they get that off. And like I said, Leviathan, using it here is not too bad because they'll have time to charge it again before the final boss. You can also take on the Boomtaur instead and grab Ice Potency at the cost of water, or Water Potency at the cost of ice. Or you can grab Healing Potency and make your healing abilities cost 1 less ATB. That's pretty good too. Bunch of decent options. Basically, you know, if you kill the birds first and you're going for mainly an ice team, then you can grab Ice Potency here because there's no more ice enemies after you've killed, no more water weak enemies, sorry, after you've killed the giant and the birds. So that could be pretty good. For these guys, they are weak to ice, and you can debuff his ice resistance. You can also debuff his magic defense if you don't have ice resistance debuffs, and you can raise your own magic defense if you're struggling. He's going to do Spinner, which is pretty weak AoE attack, and 1000 Sparks, which is also a pretty weak single target attack. So you shouldn't have too much problems with this guy. It was my first run, so I didn't know what was what. So I just went with the double enemies first. And yeah, I play it out pretty normally. Just do damage, and there's the White Wind, heals himself up. And unfortunately, I don't kill them both before they get... One of them gets their big attack off, and you'll see it is actually pretty strong. So ideally, you want to kill them before they get that off, I guess. That's why I say Leviathan's pretty good here, especially since the next two enemies are weak to ice, not water. And there's random battles as well, so you can use all of that to recharge your Leviathan if you need it for the final boss. But yeah, so dropping Leviathan here really isn't a bad thing. Either way, I'll take the Volplane. Does quite a bit of damage, but not a big deal. That's pretty much these guys. And for me, with the trance ability, I ended up just going with the one that I mentioned earlier, the pain resist. I don't really have physical attack and magic attack buffs except for Sephiroth's ultimate weapon. If you do, it's even more value, but the pain resist is pretty good because the final boss is pain. So in this area, there's a chest over here, and that's pretty much it. And then you can go on to the next battle. For Boomtaur, you really shouldn't have much problems with him. He's quite easy to kill, especially if you have ice resist down, like I mentioned. Yeah, I just lowered his ice resistance and hit him with a couple of aerial frost blades, and he was down. And then here, like I mentioned, trance ability depends on the route you took and whatever you want to go for. I just went for the healing because, you know, I'm using both elements, magic and physical, so it was just a simpler choice. Test in this area is over here, and then actually another one over here. We'll just grab those, and then the final boss is on the left, and there's a random battle just before him. You can use that to charge your limit breaks. It's these huge toads. They're not too dangerous, but they can be kind of annoying, especially if you mainly physical damage, because they do an attack that heavily lowers your physical attack. that can be kind of annoying. And yeah, other than that, they're pretty easy to beat. They're weak to water, so if you didn't need Leviathan for the birds, you could even use Leviathan here if you're struggling with these guys. And of course, before you face the boss, you need to go over to the right, because there's one more battle against the old school classic, the Red Dragon. His trance abilities are pretty straightforward. Ice resist down tier 1, take that if you're using ice as your main DPS. Water resist down tier if you're using water as your main DPS, and you have water debuff, obviously. And then single target ability is pretty good if you're not really using summons. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This guy's classic boss we faced so many times if you've been playing the game for a while. Basically, you need ice damage, and you can also debuff his ice resistance. If you're planning on tackling the stream phase, you need triangle and X ruin or sigil boosts. You can also debuff his magic defense and his magic attack, because he does magic damage. And bring Fog Esner if you're struggling and he ends up fogging your party. Obviously, you only need fog if you have a magic attacking team. If you're using full physical, then you don't really need to worry about fog. Other than that, this guy should be pretty straightforward. Basically, your options are to try and burst him out before/during his stream phase. You could just try and kill him with Shiva, or if you have really strong ice weapons. Or you could just go through the stream phase and interrupt him, kill him in the interrupt phase. And basically, for mechanics, he's going to do On the Hunt, which is immediately his stream phase. And while he's in the stream phase, he's going to do Red Dragon Breath, which is a pretty strong single target attack. And he's going to do Dreadful Chomp, which isn't very strong, but it maxes out your physical attack and magic attack debuffs on one character. Then he'll do Dragon Quake, which is a pretty strong AoE attack. And then he's going to repeat that sequence until obviously you either interrupt him or he gets his big attack off, which is Red Dragon Screech, which is going to be a really strong magical fire AoE attack. So ideally you want to kill him before that or interrupt his stream phase and kill him during the interrupt. Should be pretty straightforward. He does attack quite often and can hit quite hard. So if you're struggling, I would say go for destroying the stream phase. For me, I tried to kill him with ice damage without using Shiva, because my Sephiroth was doing quite a lot of damage. As you can see, it looked like he was going to die, but then he Dreadful Chomped Sephiroth. So now his magic attack is down by 5 tiers, and he's doing like no damage. And I actually almost didn't kill him in time before his Screech got off, but I just managed with a couple of blizzards. So be a little careful, don't be too greedy like me. But should be pretty chill. And then, like I said, trance ability is pretty straightforward. Since I'm using ice as my main DPS and I have ice resist down with Aerith, I went with ice resist down tier +1. Grab this final item and you're already on your way to the buff. Here you can use whatever items you want. For this run, I just popped a tent and a couple of damage items, Blizzard Cocktail for Seth and Water Cocktail for Angeal. You can also drop guard jellies on all of your characters if you're a little bit worried about his damage. So Demon Masamune, obviously no trance abilities, but you can kind of check out his details here if you need to. But I'll still go over some stuff. He basically wants ice and or water damage and an ice and or water resistance debuff. If you're having a hard time, physical defense up AoE buff will be pretty good, and physical attack down also works on him. And if you didn't take the 100% resistance to pain in the trance abilities, you probably want to bring a pain Essener, because he does do pain. You should have gotten that in the harder dungeon if you are not sure about it. And basically what he does is smith forging, so he raises his ice and water resistance to max, and he starts charging his big attack, big AoE physical, all-encompassing darkness. You basically want to lower his resistance and do damage to him. And then he does Incandescent Spirit, which gives him a permanent physical attack buff. And then he does Smith Forging again, and all-encompassing darkness again. Just focus on, debuffing the resistance that you're going for, water or ice. Then he's going to do a few AoE physical attacks. Sunder, which lowers your physical defense, and a couple of normal physical attacks, and then he'll do the final Smith Forging, which actually needs a triangle sigil as a stream phase. And I assume if he gets that one off, he wipes your party, so you want to probably interrupt him and kill him before that. Now, I've basically got sort of 2 runs here. The first run is where I just annihilate him, just with a few Sephiroth attacks. And you can see Sephiroth's edged wings are so freaking slow, the charge time, that twice in this fight, I'm just about to hit him with it, and then I miss out because of how slow it is. And even then, you know, I didn't even end up using Diamond Dust. Just some Arch Resist down and a couple of Frost Blades and he was dead. So he's quite strong, but he's also not, he doesn't have a lot of HP. Yeah, there, I pretty much killed him in like 2 Frost Blades. So because of that, yeah, I decided to upload another run where I like purposefully tried not to kill him quickly so that you can at least kind of see his mechanics. But that is the actual run though. If you're strong enough to just wipe him out with Shiva or with ice damage, that's pretty easy S+. And then this is the second run where I purposefully tried not to kill him quickly. I just kept spamming Sephiroth non-elemental attack. And you can basically just take a look at his mechanics if you know you need to, if you're a newer player and you're struggling and you know the first run wasn't helpful. So he does all-encompassing darkness, which inflicts pain, and then when he gets it off the second time, it's going to change from pain to agony. That means by the third time, you're probably going to die. And then as I mentioned, he keeps raising his resistances. So depending on if you're doing water or ice, you definitely want to lower that resistance. See there, pain becomes agony. And yeah. I'm just kind of chilling on manual, not doing much. Healing up. To give you a chance to see the mechanics. There's Sunder, which would normally lower physical defense, but Angeal had his Veil shield on, so because he did no damage with it, he actually didn't lower my physical defense either. So that's also something you can keep in mind. You know, it's just a little extra tweak that you could add in if you needed it. But yeah, I tried to not kill this guy, and then he gets this final one, which is actually a stream phase. So you either want to kill him before this gets off, or you want to interrupt stream phase and kill him. Because I didn't allow it, but I assume that that final one will actually wipe your party. But yeah, that's the mechanics, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Cheerio.